Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Pri, and today I'm going to be making a video on what foundation is right for you. So over time, I've actually used all three types of these foundations, and here's what I thought were the pros, the cons of each type, and what you should look into before you purchase a foundation so you don't get the wrong type that's not going to really work for you. I'm just going to be going over some basics on liquid foundation, powder foundation, and cream foundation, which, to be honest, I did not know existed until I started using it a few years back. I've never heard of it before, so if this is new to you, I'm so glad I could introduce you to this because it might be a lifesaver for you. Anyway, there are a few considerations that you should take into fact when you're trying to decide what type of foundation is right for you. So the first thing you should take into consideration is the type of skin you have. If you have oily skin, I would recommend that you start off or consider using a powder foundation. The powder foundation will just mattify your face, so it won't really allow that shine to go through, and at the same time it'll give you that nice velvety finish. It'll help absorb the oil, so if you have oily skin, powder foundation is probably a good choice for you. Obviously, if you have dry skin, liquid or cream foundation is the better choice for you. Liquid and cream foundations have humectants and emollients, which actually help soften and moisturize your skin. So they will prevent dryness, and it's probably beneficial for you since you have dry skin. Another factor that you should consider when you are trying to figure out whether you want a powder, cream, or liquid foundation is how much coverage do you want. What I tend to find is that if you want a lot of coverage, powder foundation is probably not right for you. Powder foundation doesn't offer as much coverage as liquid or cream foundation does. And liquid and cream foundations actually have ingredients that help the pigments in the foundation spread evenly across your skin. So that is a benefit of liquid and cream foundations that you should keep into consideration. On the other hand, powder foundations don't offer as much coverage, so what I found was happening to me is I was trying to get that more coverage, so I would apply a ton of product to my face, and then my face would just look cakey, which at that point it would have looked better if I wore no makeup. So yes, if you want more coverage, lean towards liquid or cream. If you want less coverage, powder. Another thing to keep in mind is how experienced are you when you are applying your foundation? And how much time do you have to actually apply your foundation? If you have a lot of time, or not a lot of time, if you have a lot of experience applying foundation, then liquid and cream is probably, you could handle that. That's a little more difficult to use, and it probably takes a little more time to just apply it. On the other hand, if you're looking for something that's easy to apply and it takes just goes like that, powder foundation is really easy to apply, and at the same time, it's really quick to apply. Another thing that you want to take into consideration is also for lack of a better word to put this, is the age of your skin. So if you have more fine lines and wrinkles, I would suggest that you stay more towards liquid or cream foundations as opposed to powders, because powders actually would set down into those fine lines, and that's kind of what helps, or not helps, but that's kind of what results in that cakey look that you are trying to avoid. As opposed to liquid foundations and cream foundations, those foundations are better at blending into your skin, kind of just melt perfectly into it. So if you have an older type of skin, I would suggest you try to use more liquid or cream foundations. And if you're young, don't worry about it as much, it's not a concern, so cream or liquid would work for you. I guess this is a good place to go over the cons of each foundation, since I kind of went into the pros earlier in the video. As I said before, con of powder foundation is that it could sit in fine lines and wrinkles and kind of just accentuate that, which is not the purpose of makeup, obviously. So you need to be careful when you're applying foundation or the powder foundation, just because you don't want it to set in your wrinkles or fine lines. So that is one con of the powder. And that doesn't mean that liquid and cream foundations are the answer holy grail to foundations, because liquid and cream foundations have a different problem. Since these two foundation types have ingredients that help Since these two foundations have an ingredient that helps keep your skin moist and it helps keep your skin soft, they're also more likely to move around on your face and kind of just like melt off your face. I'm not sure what the right word to say is, like it'll move around more, so it's really important that you set a liquid or cream foundation with, I guess, a powder finish. So that's just some other things that you need to keep into consideration. So if those are the negatives you're experiencing right now, maybe you should consider switching over to another type of foundation. Anyway, that's all the tips I have on what type of foundation you should consider using. Let me know in the comments down below what type of foundation you use. I currently use liquid foundation. I love cream foundation, but I also found it more difficult to blend on my skin, so I switched back to liquid. Yeah.